What's up, guys? ODST General back again with some Sins of Solar Empire Rebellion. Today I've got the Star Trek Armada 3 mod for it. This is the Call to Arms expansion, which is the most recent one released for it, which features a lot of stuff around the Cardassian Empire and the Dominion and stuff, as you can kind of see from the ship in the background. That's a Dominion cruiser. I haven't played a huge amount of Sims compared to some of the other games I feature on my channel that I do mods for. In fact, I've only probably played the vanilla version once or twice, if that. But I've been playing this one quite a bit, and just the detail of this for mod from some of the other mods I played for Sims, which is only a couple others, keep in mind, is just way above their standard. Not only graphically speaking, but like the details of the tech tree, the additional features like the random events and stuff here. I wasn't paying attention. I screwed up an option for my base building, so unfortunately I couldn't select where any of the bases go. But anyways, here, so the factions are included in this mod, if you guys aren't familiar with it, are the Federation, the Klingons, the Romulans, the Cardassians, and the Borg. The Borg are designed to be comparable to the other factions in this, although there is a separate add-on that you can download that came out in February that makes the Borg significantly more powerful and more akin to what you'd see in the shows. We're going to be doing this. It's going to be the Federation, the Klingons, and the Romulans against the Cardassians, three factions of the Cardassians on this map. We're going to kind of base it off of what you guys saw in DS9 if you watched that. Now, like I said, I haven't played a huge amount of Sins, so keep in mind that, you know, this is being uneasy, and then this is probably mediocre to some people, gameplay, if that. You're going to have to forgive me for that, but
bring up local
nonetheless,
star charts.
I hope you guys enjoy it. Give me 1 second here. I forgot to mute something, so I just gotta fix that really quick. Alright, there we go. That'll fix that. Now I have to try and think over the game's talking. So this game, as far as the Federation goes, has just a ton of different starships and stuff, and so it's not like every starship ever. It's like everything from
planetary system detected,
TNG to the movies, and then some additional stuff that was expanded universe canon, such as the Excalibur, the Typhon, which is from a old PlayStation
planetary
game.
System
I can't remember the name all of a sudden, but played it, and it's really awesome. That's included. And then there's one other ship. I can't remember the name of it. I believe it was an entry on the Create the Next Enterprise contest for Star Trek Online. At least it looks very similar to one that was entered on there.
Insufficient Latinum.
So if you guys aren't familiar with Sins, how it works is you capture all these planets, and this map's massive, and this is only like a fraction of the map that you can see. I'll zoom out later in the video, and you guys can get a much better idea of what the map actually looks like. So basically, like I was saying, you capture your planets or whatever you defeat, and there's like pirates usually, or the enemy faction on the planet, and you have to go in and kind of clear out each gravity well around the planet, and then colonize the planet. Each planet's got its own individual tech tree, so like you have the ability to increase population, increase defense, search the planet for rare relics.
Station complete.
You can place like shipyards and fighter bays and phaser turrets and all sorts of stuff around in the gravity wells of the planets, trade ports, and all these different things. And you're able to research new options and abilities, obviously, not just ships, as you go through.
Awaiting orders.
So as you guys can see, I'm researching some stuff right now. Specifically, I just researched a trade post, or I'm in the process of researching one.
Station complete.
And once that's complete, I'm able to build trade posts, which will then send goods back and forth between my different planets with little ships that you guys are going to see kind of leaving back and forth.
Crew standing
so once
by.
I get a couple of those up, my planets are going to start trading, and that'll be a source of extra money. on top of like taxes you get
Give
from
the word.
planets that you own.
Altering course.
There's also like a whole diplomatic and allegiance factor to it. So you have planets under your control, but you can like lose allegiance to them, and they can go to a different like a different faction. If that faction's got like a lot of stuff in diplomacy, they can sway planets to them. And that's stuff you can kind of
Altering
tweak
course.
a little bit and mess around with, so it's not
Planetary
necessarily a big
system
deal. Or,
detected.
like, you know, you can lock in your ally, so you don't have to worry about losing an ally. And all of a sudden you're like just about in the process of
Adjusting
finishing off an enemy,
coordinates.
and your ally decides, well, we're not going to be friends anymore. I just kill everything while I got all my ships in your capital as well. And you get your different tiers of ships. So you have like the small kind of like frigates and utility ships, like the colony ship and the envoy ship, which is basically the diplomatic ship. You got your
Give the word.
bigger things like your cruisers and your planetary
Ready
destroyers,
weapons.
and then you got your capital ships. And the capital ships are
Research
really cool
complete.
because they gain experience. They're the only named ships in the game, so if you see a ship with a name on
Planetary
it, like a
system
unique name,
detected.
that's a capital ship. And as they kill other units, they gain experience, which unlocks new abilities. So like the Ambassador, which is the first one the Federation gets in this, has 4 abilities to choose from. You guys will see why I pull it up. But it can colonize worlds, you can increase its shielding. It's got an ability to like view distant gravity wells, like distant planets, with its like improved sensors, and then you can like get a stabilized world field that will boost the speed of other ships around it. Not to mention that they're
Standing
just
by.
a lot more powerful than like the average ships. And then, as you guys can see right now, I'm actually fighting pirates. This isn't a faction, this isn't Cardassians, these are just like pirate raiders that are in each planet's gravity well. This one I can't remember the species. I'm assuming it's just kind of one of those like random throwaway species from Star Trek that you can't forget. And I may be mistaken, so forgive me if I am. Couple other units I run across in this will be like, there's a Ferengi world I run across with a couple of Decoras, which are
Insufficient
pretty powerful.
platinum.
The
Insufficient
Bajoran
platinum.
Militia, the Maquis, which I know the Maquis ships are specific to them. There's the species from
Give the
that
word.
whole Darmok episode. Where
Standing
Captain
by.
Picard goes down to the planet, trying to like communicate to the aliens that only use metaphors.
Standing by.
I think they're only ever shown in the one
Planetary
episode. I
system
may be
detected.
mistaken, but they have like one ship that they show in the episode. I know that's in here.
Reroute all auxiliary
But there's
power
like other
weapons.
ships that you kind of see as like generic spaceships and stuff, which are used in the mod as like pirates. You have
Standing
Orion
by.
pirates, they'll attack you randomly if they're enabled. Well, I shouldn't say randomly. They'll attack whoever has bounty on them, and then once in a while they'll try to raid other planets. So as you guys can see, I have a mission from the House of Dagor, which I failed miserably. They wanted me to send an envoy to their space, which that early in the game I hadn't really
Research
researched
complete.
the envoys yet or anything, and wasn't really prepared to do that. Not to mention, I kind of gone and captured space in the opposite direction, so I had to like try and swing back around to get back to the Klingon Empire, and just wasn't able to make it in time.
Acknowledge Starfleet.
In order to research things, you have to have different tiers. So, like,
All crew
if you want
stand
to,
ready.
say, research more ships, you need a certain type of
Acknowledge
station.
Starfleet.
And each world has, like, so many slots for logistical
Acknowledge
things. Like,
Starfleet. Changing heading.
like, certain worlds are really good for, like, building stuff. Like, the main planets can build, like, a lot of stations and stuff like that.
Acknowledge
Whereas,
Starfleet.
like, this world, because it's smaller and it's kind of a barren desert planet, you have to, like, kind of build it up before you can really do anything with it. And even then, I don't think it ever gets quite as good as some of the bigger planets.
Give the word.
Standing by.
Steady as she goes.
So,
Altering course. Steady as she goes.
I think we've managed. No, they still got one ship. I'm just retreating my ship here to try and keep them alive. I mean, you gotta, once in a while, you gotta expect losses from ships like this and just consider it, worthwhile losses, but, this early on, just a single ship can make such a big difference. I wanted to try and keep them alive, especially with the fact that, 4 or 5 more ships on the way in.
Crew standing by.
Certain ships have, smaller ships
Planetary
you can,
system
do direct
detected.
research for, like the Sabres and the Mirandas, which are my main fleet right now. You can research improvements for them in the upgrade tree as far as
Awaiting orders.
Call to Arms is concerned.
Change heading.
Research complete.
This guy decided he really wanted to go after that Saber that was really
Planetary
annoying for
system
his life.
detected.
I love the models in this mod, though. They're really detailed for, like, all of them. Some of them are a little bit better than others, but for the most part, they're all, like, really high quality. Yeah, I haven't quite played with
Awaiting
the other
orders.
factions yet. I played around a little with a couple of them, but not all of them. I know that the
All crew stand
Klingons
ready.
are, like, a very
Altering course.
aggressive, guns forward like they are in, kind of all the shows and stuff.
Planetary system detected.
The Borg,
Planetary
obviously, they can,
system
like,
detected.
assimilate enemies, and their ships are really big and powerful, I believe, even in the stock version, but I think that's probably counterbalanced
Colonization
by the
was
fact that they seem a
successful.
little bit more expensive. Not really familiar with the
Standing
Romulans or
by.
the Cardassians. I haven't played the
Standing
Cardassians
by.
at all, and I think I played the Romulans once, but I can't really remember, and that was
Understood.
last time I had the mod installed and played it before.
Standing by.
So these matches, they take a really long time, so I'll be doing more episodes like this too. I had intended this to be like 25 minutes
Standing
long,
by.
and then I saw like my progress, and I'd like barely made a dent in the map. So I decided to play for like an hour. And I mean, I managed to take over
Standing by.
like not even like a quarter of the map. I have a couple areas around me that are just filled to the brim with pirates that'll like annihilate my ships if I go in there.
Standing by.
So I'm trying to kind of work around them and see if I can at least try to keep them intact, because they would be like the most
Planetary system
significant buffer
detected.
against like any major enemy fleets trying to come after me.
Station
The biggest
complete.
threat I have would be pirates. I don't know if they'll fight the
Changing
pirates or
heading.
not. I don't think they do.
Understood.
One thing you have to is with this they have hero units. I can't remember if there's any hero units in the stock game. I don't think there is. So like the Federation, you can research to get Janeway, Picard, and Cisco, and each of their respective ships, which have unique abilities to their ships. For instance, Janeway's ship can like get the ablative armor from the Endgame episode, the last episode of Voyager.
Planetary system detected.
Which basically makes the ship invincible while that armor is active, but it only lasts for a limited time. Romulan Scout here. Cisco's got the self-replicating minefield, which I don't know if it actually self-replicates, but I
Battle
know that it
stations.
does at least lay out mines.
Alter course.
And I'm trying to remember what Picard's was. I think his is just like a buffed... Oh, wait, no, he can call in reinforcements. That's what it is.
Station
Picard
complete.
can call in, like, I think it's mainly Norways and Mirandas or something. Or steamers, I can't remember, but he
Entering
calls in
coordinates.
reinforcement ships. And it takes up a lot of fleet room, so you need to make sure you have extra fleet room if you're going to do that, but it is a very useful ability if, say, you go in and your fleet just gets annihilated by an enemy force that can turn the tide of a battle. And I've seen
Station
that firsthand,
complete.
just how big of a difference it can be.
Adjusting coordinates.
And all the ships, you see little flashes of light because all the ships jump to warp here. I had wanted to
Planetary
follow the
system
ships
detected.
the end on one of these, and I screwed up and accidentally lost track of the ship. So these are the Bajoran ships I was talking about before. I can't remember what the Bajoran ships actually look like, so I'm not sure if this is actually Bajoran ships or not. I want to say they are, based off of the episode Parallels, where the Enterprise got attacked by
Battle stations.
an alternate version
Battle
of the
stations.
Bajorans who had started attacking the Federation after a pact with the Cardassians or something. I don't know. Yeah, my fleet of Mirandas are flying in, torpedoes firing away. They don't quite move like Star Trek ships do, like the Star Trek ships will just keep flying forward and fly by, at least according to the TV shows.
Battle stations.
But still, even,
Crew standing
even
by.
in spite of the fact it does look quite good.
Lock phasers.
The ship's trying to work their way around the gravity well. There you can kind of see some trade ships flying in between the planets, you know, trading resources, and as you guys can see, I've got steady supply of money coming in. You know, as I capture more planets, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Battle stations.
Obviously, it costs resources to like build all the facilities and stuff,
Standing
which
by.
Crew standing
kind of
by.
takes a decent amount, but in the end, it ends up paying off as long as you can survive long enough to benefit from that. But like I said before, these games turned into really long ones, and I mean that even
We
applies
await
to
your
like a
command.
1v1 or a 2v2.
Fire at will.
This is a 3v3, so I'm not quite sure how long this will take to play through all of these. Probably won't even be able to do another video for a while because I have a 8-day work week ahead of me and got you know, shifts ranging from 5 to 2 in the morning to 6 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time to really do anything else, especially given the fact that one of my days off is my girlfriend's family's coming out from Illinois to visit, at least part of it is.
Give the word.
So we're going to try and take out this last ship here. As I kind of showed off at the beginning of the video too, the like each ship's got its kind of own unique role.
Awaiting
so, like,
orders.
the capital ships, obviously, they have a lot of defense and a lot of firepower, and they're capable of
await your
attacking the
command.
planets and enemy ships, which makes them basically just
Colonization
all-around
was
powerhouses.
successful.
Give the word.
This is counterbalance. That's what I was talking about. Those big areas just filled to the brim with enemies. But anyways, yeah, like I was saying, they're big powerhouses. So, that's kind of counterbalanced by the fact that you
Steady
can only
as
have
she
a limited
goes.
amount. You're able to research more of them as you play through. So
Enemy vessels detected.
you're able to spend resources and say, well, I want to be able to have, you know, seven capital ships, and the game goes, well, okay, that's fine, but you still need the increased fleet room too to have all of them. They take up, you know, different amounts of fleet room
Station
too.
complete.
So if we look at the Starfleet Academy tab, which I'll pull up eventually here, you guys will kind of get a look at that a little bit. I can't remember when I looked that up either. So right now I'll search the, can't remember if I researched anything here. Like, you get modular hull plating, so that's increased hull plating, increased phaser damage, increased shields, all sorts of stuff like that. Research hangar bay. And research increased titanium, I want to say, mining. So that I'll basically get more titanium from mining. Like I was saying though, each ship's kind of got
Crew
its
standing
own
by.
like unique things. So like the Nova class, they're your scouts. They're small little scientific
Station
ships. They'll go from
complete.
planet to planet. They're basically just designed to be fast ships that
Research
are really cheap.
complete.
They'll just show you where everybody is and what everything's going on. You got your sabers, which are basically your like light frigates or whatever. They're
Acknowledge,
small
Starfleet.
ships. They're designed to be cheap too. You
Acknowledge,
can build them
Starfleet.
in mass, but they're not particularly strong or powerful. The Miranda's basically a heavier version of the Saber. But then you start branching off into specialty
Standing
ships. So you
by.
get like the Centaur, which is an anti-fighter ship. Or the Norway, which is designed to bomb planets. Or the Steamrunner, which is designed to basically just fire torpedoes at
Research
enemy ships from a
complete.
range. Or, you know, your Curry class, which is
Station complete.
carrier fighter combo. It carries like 2 wings of fighters. Here we're building the... I forgot what name it was called by. This is the Envoy, though. This is what I was talking about. So,
Research complete.
these ships here, the one I'm building, is basically
Acknowledge,
increases... It
Starfleet.
can, like, increase allegiance to you and basically strengthen relations with allies and stuff like that.
Research complete.
So the Nausicaan pirates, they're looking to attack me. So I'm trying to keep them off me by putting a bounty on one of our enemies here.
Acknowledge, Starfleet.
Got
Acknowledge,
another mission from the
Starfleet.
Romulans
Standing by.
here. They're wanting me to attack the capital ships
Changing heading.
of one of the opposing factions here.
Understood.
And, I mean, not only do you have to deal with pirates and stuff in this, but there's random events. And I've only experienced a couple of them,
Alter
and that can range
course.
from stuff just like economic upturns and downturns, you know, like big things in the economy that affect it, but also crazy things like the whale probe from Star Trek, which is capable of like literally just disabling fleets. Just fleets can't do anything; they just become disabled against it. Or think like plasma storms or something, which can like blow through a system and like damage or destroy your stations and stuff. Like the whale probe, I know you can defend against plasma storms and stuff. I
Awaiting
don't
orders.
know if there's any way to stop those or like avoid them, or if that's just something where it's basically when one comes, you get your fleet out of that area and
Change heading.
you know rebuild when
Steady
it's
as
done
she
doing its
goes.
thing. And how a lot of other mods, I believe the vanilla version works, is that certain planets need like certain research to be completed. Like the Halo mod, if you want to colonize a Ferris planet, you need to research
Yellow alert
Ferris
activated.
colonization, or volcanic planet, volcanic, you know, colonization. In this, you get different tiers of planets, which I like and I don't like at the same time. Just because, you know, Star Trek's got that whole planet classification thing, at least as far as Starfleet seems to be concerned, so it almost feels like it should apply more
Adjusting coordinates.
to Star Trek than, like, you know, the standard game and stuff, where you'd want the specific research. So, you know, you're researching a Class M planet, or you're researching the ability to
Station
colonize a Class
complete.
Y planet and stuff like that. So this is the Maquis I was talking about. This is the ship that Chakotay and them used at the start of Star Trek Voyager.
Battle stations. Acknowledge, Starfleet.
This ship here, this is the Jaeger class, which is a mix between that ship and Voyager. I think it was created for DS9, I want to say. Just to be another ship that was kind of in the background of the bigger battles. Because they did that a lot. They created a lot of kit bashes where they basically took like pre-existing ships and they just kind of put the models together, or like rearranged the models so they could create more ships to like help fill things out. So that's why you get like things like
Crew
the Curry
standing
class,
by.
where
Engage
literally
target.
the Curry class is taking the neck of the Excelsior, removing it, pushing the saucer to the back of the ship, and then giving it the nacelles from the reactor that the Enterprise made,
Station
and then calling it a new
complete.
ship.
Standing by.
And that's what the Jaeger is, and it was basically their way of like making more ships.
Understood.
I don't know how the Maquis got all these ships though. Voyager's supposed to be like cutting edge technology, and there's only like 4 Intrepid classes I think at the start of Voyager. Here, you know, they had the saucer from it, like these really crappy ships. As far as this is concerned, the Jaegers are okay.
Crew
Like,
standing by.
they're a lot more powerful than the regular Maquis ships, as you guys saw. Just blew those things out of the sky really fast.
We await your command.
And the other thing too is the fleet here I have. I've been going around, I've been capturing all these planets and stuff like that. This fleet's still really small by
Battle stations.
the standards of like the late game. You get massive fleets of like, you know, half a dozen capital ships, and they're just surrounded by
All crew stand ready.
Mirandas and Sabres and all these other ships and stuff.
Acknowledge Starfleet.
And like I said before, each capital
Colonization
ship's kind of
was
got its own
successful.
abilities. So like the Galaxy class has saucer separation, or the standard Sovereigns can like increase a fleet's capability of like hitting a target better or doing more damage. Like the I'm trying to
Standing
remember
by.
what the nebulas do. One nebula has like attack and like detection
Change
grid, so
heading.
like you can detect like cloak ships because the Klingons and the Romulans are capable of cloaking, obviously. Man, I'm not used to these like longer narrations. I don't think I've ever really narrated for a straight hour before. And like normally if I'm narrating while recording a video, it's a little bit different because I'm quiet half the time because I'm concentrating on
Adjusting
playing.
coordinates.
But right now that's not the case. The case is that I'm sitting here after I've played. You know, I quit playing this a couple hours ago. I'm coming back and I'm watching the video again to do this narration. And it's a lot tougher. Because obviously I want to talk about the mod and kind of talk through what I'm doing here. And like I said, there's not really a whole lot to talk about what I'm doing as far as strategy and stuff goes, because right now I'm just trying to do like an initial push
Standing by.
to go out and just capture as
Alter
many planets
course.
as I can
Changing
early
heading.
on to gain resources, and have the upper hand later on. Right now I have to call my
Station
fleet back to
complete.
one of my captured planets already, because as they're starting to push away, a small group of Orion pirates decided to come and attack my planet, which was very lightly defended. I only had one fighter bay there. Honestly, as far as the Federation goes, I really don't think the Federation's defenses are that good. I'm not really familiar with the defenses of the other factions, so I'm not sure if that's really a fair assessment. Because what I'm comparing it to is the Halo mod, where you get Mac cannons as humans, and, you know, smaller ships, those are able to, like, one-shot them. Or, you know, one or two-shot certain ships.
Enemy engaged.
And that's kind of what I'm comparing it to, where, you know, it's like these basically versus, like, the phaser arrays,
Battle
which
stations.
aren't designed to be anything like that. They're designed to, you know, fire more rapidly than a max station, which may only get one or two
Acknowledge
rounds off
Starfleet.
before being destroyed, once it destroys its targets.
Standing by. Initiate new attack pattern. Battle stations. Battle stations. Standing by. Changing heading. Reroute power to weapons.
So yeah, the a lot of stuff for this too is based off of Star Trek Online. I think one of the guys in this is going to sound really bad, but keep in mind this is a really big fleet I'm part of. It's part of the same fleet as me,
Station
which is the
complete.
Federation of Planets, or the UFP, from Star Trek Online. That's why you get assets like the avatars and stuff, which are taken from Star Trek Online. I think, like I said, I think one of these ships, one of the Titans for the Federation gets 2 Titans, and like everybody else only gets 1, at least so far.
Standing
I
by.
think one, if not both of those, were entered into the Design the Next Enterprise contest. I know one of the 2 Titans in this is actually, for
Change
years now, it's been getting worked on as its own game,
Research
Star Trek
complete.
Excalibur. Which, unlike this, which this is a mod, Star Trek
Standing by.
Excalibur is going to be designed to be just a game designed from the
Research
ground up, but that's
complete.
going to be a totally different game, so I won't get into that. I mean, yeah, nothing else in here really,
Station
though, is
complete.
I think taken from Star Trek Online, at least nothing that I can think of. Like I said, the Typhon class is expanded fiction, or whatever you want to call it. But that's from a different game. I'm trying to remember, like I said, it's like you're fighting the Hurtak or something like that. You're a fighter pilot. And the Typhon's commanded by Worf.
Station complete.
It was a really fun game. I had a lot of fun with it when that was out. Honestly, it was actually one of the first Star Trek games I ever played on the PlayStation. I didn't have a good gaming PC for a really long time, so
Enemy
like,
vessels
games like this I
detected.
would have never been able to run when they came out. In fact, I really didn't have a good gaming PC until college. When I was finally, I decided to finally build my own computer when I had enough money and stuff of my own to
We await your
really
command.
do that. Okay, so we stopped the Orion Pirates. No more seem to come in, so we're gonna go back to try and expand out our empire here. More Bajoran ships and have a close look at
Research
it.
complete.
The Romulans are fighting
Prepare the
them.
docking bays.
And as you guys can see, I'm expanding out significantly faster than the Klingons or the Romulans. Unfortunately, because they're so far away, because this is such a big map, it's hard to get reliable intel
Adjusting
against like the
coordinates.
Cardassians to see what they're really doing right now.
Research complete.
So it's hard to say how far they've actually expanded by the time I end this video. And we still got a good 20 minutes left before this video's over, and it's just kind of continuing on this theme, go in, destroy the pirates, take their planet, and just continue to kind of upgrade my technology and research.
Standing by.
I got a lucky break though, finding those Ferengi. They actually did some damage. They destroyed my fleet pretty well, but
Alert activated.
they have a trade station built into their planet, which I think, I'm not sure, but I'm guessing that those frigates they have, because they're special freighters, frigates, I'm guessing they probably have some sort of expanded cargo capacity or something, which you can increase through research on your normal freighters, but I
Awaiting
think
orders.
that's probably going to be a big help to me, because that's something like any faction can go in and capture.
Research complete.
One thing that I like about this mod too is when you destroy ships. Now, if you're destroying pirates, you don't really get to
Station
notice this.
complete.
Fire when ready.
I think when
Ready
I finally
weapons.
fight those Ferengi, I showed off a little bit, but even with the smaller ships of the Federation, and there's that increased research, for fleet capacity and stuff I was talking about, so I just increased the ability to get another capital ship. and I'm researching the Norway and Voyager. Will be coming up afterwards. But
Battle
anyways, kind of
stations.
back on subject.
Initiate new attack path.
Even like when smaller ships get destroyed, they're from playable factions. There's, I'm not sure if it's
Acknowledge,
always
Starfleet.
happens. I haven't really paid attention. I'm guessing it's just a chance, but there's the possibility. I'll say and
Initiate
maybe
new attack
definitely will leave debris. And like I said, I'll show this off when one of my Mirandas gets destroyed. Like in the Halo mod, if a capital ship gets taken out, it just kind of drifts for a little bit and then explodes. In this,
We await
if you
your
have a
command.
Miranda that gets
Bring
destroyed,
engines to
or
full.
really any other
Awaiting
ship,
orders.
you'll see there's a destroyed model. It just kind of like spins around in
Altering
space. So
course.
like after a massive battle against like an AI opponent who's got like a, you have a bunch of capital ships and they got capital ships and you guys both have massive armies.
Crew standing by.
Afterwards, there's just this
Research
massive debris field
complete.
for a little bit. It's just really cool looking. I know
Colonization
that.
was successful.
I know the Covenant can gather resources from destroyed ships. I'm trying to remember if that was something I saw in
Research
the Borg
complete.
too. I can't remember for sure. I only played the Borg briefly, and like, I'm used to the Federation's research. I know, how their tech tree works pretty well. I know what everything is and where it's at. The Borg's a little bit different. The research is a little bit different, and it's just a little bit harder to, at least for me, to follow through on
Enemy
it.
engaged.
Crew
Just
standing
because I had
by.
the opportunity to
Adjusting
really learn it too well.
coordinates.
So here's the Decoras I was talking about. So they got 4,500 coal and then a decent amount of shields too. So they're pretty beefy. These are the freighters I was talking about. Keep in mind too that, well, the Decoras aren't faction like specific. They are just basically essentially the same
Standing
thing as
by.
pirates.
Steady as she goes.
Decor is
word.
basically something that's capable of kind of going up against the Enterprise D, so they're pretty powerful ships. Some of the Cardassian scouts, this says,
Adjusting coordinates.
getting on everybody's nerves and they keep asking me to attack him. My fighter's trying to go after him before he leaves the sector.
Research complete.
So, unfortunately, because I didn't really bother to see too much resistance on that next planet, I jumped without my capital ship. And I kept him behind to colonize
Station
the planet
complete.
while I was researching. Luckily, he did make it there in time, but not before I saw a couple losses.
Awaiting orders.
Because of that. It's hard to say. I guess I might have seen those losses anyways, but yeah. So ship just got destroyed.
Give the word.
That was that Miranda I was talking about earlier. So in a second, I'll zoom in on the debris for that.
Acknowledge, Starfleet. Battle stations.
That was this one.
All crew stand ready.
Yeah, it looks like they both left some debris.
Research complete.
Standing by.
Yeah, I really like showing off the ships and stuff from each faction, so I don't think I'll be doing this for every single faction like some people do where they just play games like Zoom and stuff since I play so many different games. But I'll be making an effort to show off kind of like every single ship in the Federation faction as long as I can.
Awaiting orders.
Apparently there was a bounty on these other.
Station complete.
Steady
So
as she
there's a brave
goes.
flash you just saw around my capital ship means it leveled up too.
Squadron reporting,
Tell
Captain.
my fire to
Moving to
attack
intercept.
the scout here. Not my primary point of focus, but it would be kind of nice little thing if I can get him out of the picture too while he's going by my fleet. Like I say, I'm more worried about the decor. I'm not exactly sure the proper way to call in allies. And it might have
Standing
been because
by.
my fleet was not big enough. Like I didn't have enough room. But when I tried calling in Janeway, it says that I had to have more room in my fleet, which that's what I'm doing right now, is increasing the fleet size. But then after I did that, it was still saying the ability was disabled. So I don't know if that's something you have to like research and then wait for it to have a cooldown before you
Station
can call in
complete.
that person, or how that works. I do know it's possible to have all three on the field at once.
Standing by.
Alright, so...
Awaiting
their,
orders.
First decor is gone, the
Research
second
complete.
one's getting down there. They got like the same type of weapons that like I think the Klingons kind of have, and the Defiance have, which is like the phaser cannons. So they're a little bit more powerful than the phaser beams, but they're also
We await your
forward
command.
facing, which means that there's a limited firing arc, which means thankfully the
Standing
core
by.
can't fire behind it to get kind of weaker targets and try to pick off one of my ships. So
Station
he's doing a little bit
complete.
more damage to ones in front of him that he would. Oh. But yeah, here here's me showing off the debris. And I just think that's awesome because of the detail in it and stuff, and it just looks so much better than a lot of other games where they have ships that get destroyed. Like Star Trek Online, if your ship gets destroyed, it
Battle
looks
stations.
awful. Like the damage to it and
Battle
stuff is just
stations.
like a texture, so it's not really that
Changing
great.
heading. Understood.
And because I got
Reroute
nothing
power
better to
to
do, I'm just going
weapons.
to destroy the
All
AI's
crews
freighters
stand
here.
ready. Fire at will.
Their trade source while I work on destroying their planet. Now, every planet to this point has not been captured or held, despite the fact that there is, rogue factions or independent factions, or whatever you want to call them, in each space. The Ferengi, despite not being a playable faction, actually do own this planet, which means I have to destroy it first. And like I said, each
Research
planet's got its
complete.
defense, it's got a population and stuff, so you have to like destroy those things before you can actually take it over.
Standing by.
But like I said, that it is a nice planet just
Understood.
for the fact that they do have that resource.
Alter course.
Try being a dirtbag after I took this planet, though. I wanted to spread my
Alter
ship to
course.
the or not my ship, but my my territory to like right next to the Klingons. I tried taking a planet they wanted, despite the fact that I had a lot more than them already.
Standing by.
Awaiting orders.
I'm not quite sure
the
why, but
word.
for some reason it seems that like
Change
the
heading.
Acknowledge Starfleet.
Ambassador class, which is the first, like I said, the first capital ship you get, gets fighters. And like the Galaxy class and some of the later ones only get fighters once you level them up some.
Acknowledge Starfleet.
Like the Typhon though is capable, like it gets, I think, 6 or 4 fighters or something. I don't know. You can't expand the bays on that though. Like you can't do that
Standing
with some
by.
of the capital ships. They're basically just shoving them in the shuttle bays and saying, okay, there's your ships. So that's the steamer. Like I said, that's basically an artillery ship designed to take out other spaceships from far away.
Standing by.
Centaur is, like I said, designed to take out smaller fighters. They have the Constellation, which is basically a repair ship. Despite its older age, it's been kept in because of that. The Excelsior is your standard run-of-the-mill frigate, or not frigate, cruiser. So it's got a decent amount of health and damage, but it's slower and it's a bigger target. It's not quite as specialized as some of the smaller stuff, so it's not as good as taking out like fighters or can't attack the planet. There's the Klingon fleet. The Raptor. I think those are in DS9. I know they're in Star Trek Online for sure. That's one of the ships in Star Trek Online. They're using it as a bomber in here though. Um,
Station complete.
yeah, and to be honest, I mean, despite the fact that I've mainly played as Federation, I myself haven't even
Changing
used all the
heading.
Federation ships yet either. I mean, I've used the vast majority of them, but I haven't, like, used, say, the New Orleans class or the Akira yet.
Increase
'Cause
power to
ironic is
engines.
I run an Akira in Star Trek Online. So, we're gonna keep trying to keep the pirates, the Cardassians, and some of them will each other down. We're going back to those people who aren't familiar with Sins. You are capable of taking out the pirates.
recognizes your
There's
Bring
a
us
specific
about.
pirate homeworld, or a couple pirate homeworlds on a map, I think. I think it's usually just one, I'm not sure, but you're able to take over their homeworld and capture it,
Research
and that will stop the pirates
complete.
from coming. But the thing with that is that pirates usually have a ton of ships around their homeworld, arguably more than you'd even expect to see from like another faction,
Enemy vessels
Or player.
detected.
which kind of counterbalances the fact that
Bring
they
us
don't really
about.
have any defensive weapons, I don't believe, to speak of. It's, just their ships. But I mean, even just their ships are really powerful, so it's something to watch out for. So right now we're researching Outpost,
Colonization was successful.
and I don't do it by the time this mission ends, but my plan is to basically have it go up to that planet right next to that massive army and post it up there and start a
Prep all
outpost
systems.
up there, just as an extra line of defense against them, just in case for some reason something manages to break through up there. Because that planet's the closest one to the Cardassians as far as my border goes.
Insufficient latinum.
Now a little while later here, and once again we'll unpack this just before the video ends, but I will I'll try to research getting Starbase up, which is basically just a more powerful outpost, but Starbases can be used to like research ships and stuff like that too.
Standing by.
Prepare the docking bays.
So like outposts can like have fighter bases and stuff, but Starbases are actually a little bit better. But they're also a good bit more expensive.
Awaiting orders.
From my understanding of this too, and I really haven't had a chance to view it, is the fact that you
Steady
also
as she
need
goes.
siege ships to capture, or not capture, but destroy a starbase. So starbases can be really powerful and devastating to a fleet, but only certain ships are capable of actually taking them out. So like your capital ships and like, I think the Norways, in the case of the Federation, your planetary destroyers. Or maybe the steam runners, I'm not sure.
Station complete.
So, as you guys can see, as
Adjusting
I got
coordinates.
the Cardassian station, and it's now pumping out those same flares the Cardassians, or not the Cardassians, the Ferengi had. Fortunately, I wasn't quite able to make it to that planet fast enough. This is the one, like I said, I wanted to try and capture it
Standing
before
by.
the Klingons were able to take it. I don't know if there was just like no opposition here and they just went in and captured it, I'm guessing. I'm not quite sure what's going on with here. I know the Asatana simulators are power drainers in Star Trek Online. I'm assuming they're the same thing here. But they just look like asteroids, so who knows. And we're gonna research a Excelsior. And we're gonna research
Station complete.
basically the
Standing
ability
by.
to improve population on worlds that would be considered less hospitable to humans.
Acknowledge Starfleet.
So as of right now,
Alter
too,
course.
as I start pushing the other way, I find out that that massive fleet that's just above my one planet that I fended those pirates off from earlier,
Research
There's another
complete.
planet like that at the edge of my border again, so I'm not sure if I'm surrounded by planets like that. If I'll try, I have to wait for one of my allies to push through that and go through with them to help them. Or if that's just something I'll be able to, like, sneak around and go out the other way. And just, like, not have to fight those guys and leave them there as, like, basically a second defense for my
Station
planets.
complete.
Adjusting
Doing
coordinates.
pretty good on trade, though. You know, here I am, one of my, my second planet, I guess. And, I got 4 trade ships, though. You're able to change planet names, too, if you want. I didn't bother. I
The
don't see a
Senate
reason
commends
to,
you
really.
for your brilliant command.
Yeah, there's that mission to destroy
Research
capital ships I
complete.
mentioned earlier. I thought that's what I was looking at before, I guess not.
All crew stand ready.
Alter course.
Helm, bring us about. Adjusting coordinates.
Alright, so we should be coming pretty close to the end. Yeah, we got about 4
Prepare the
minutes left to go in
colonists.
the video. So we'll wrap it up here in just a minute.
Helm,
and,
new heading.
I'm just going to try and capture one last planet here and get ready to go and
Increase
try to
power
push
to
further
engines.
on for the next video.
Station
research some
complete.
stuff before I finish up. Like I said, I probably will be playing all the way through this and at least try to show off all the ships and try to finish this one. I don't think I'll be doing this for every single faction or anything like that, even on a smaller scale. It still, like I said, takes quite a while. I will attempt to get out another video relatively soon, but like I said, I do have a 8-day work
Research
week coming up,
complete.
and my hours are just like all over the place. So I'm not sure how realistic that's going to be. I am going to cut the audio here, though.
Enemy
I appreciate you guys
engaged.
tuning in and taking the time to watch all this if you've managed to get this far in the video. Yeah, just
Adjusting
keep an eye out for
coordinates.
the next video. Make sure to tune in next time, and make sure to subscribe and like the channel. Thanks, guys, and you have a good one.
All crew stand ready.
Yes.
Station complete.
Take us out of here. Warp 9.
Squadron reporting, Captain. Moving to intercept. Moving to intercept.
Prepare the colonists. Increase power to engines.
Crew standing by.
Warp speed.
We await your command. All crew stand ready.
Colonization was successful.
Go ahead. What's on your mind?
Crew standing by. Engage target.
Research complete.